Hello creatives, I'm Joanna Penn from thecreativepenn.com, and today I'm talking about something that is very close to my heart at the moment, which is how do you refocus when you have so much to do and lots of competing priorities? How do you decide how to move forward? So first up, how does this feel, I guess? I think you know this overwhelm feeling when in the writing space, you want to get your words done, you're working on this new book, you've got ideas for other books. If you're self-publishing, you've got the publishing tasks. If you're looking for a traditional deal, you're dealing with agents, publishers, or querying. If you're, you have to do your marketing anyway, so you're on social media, you're doing all these things, and that's just the writing bit. And then, of course, most people will be working a day job. You've got the family to deal with, and then you're meant to exercise, and then you're meant to eat properly, and then you're meant to meditate, and you're meant to do all these different things. It's like, seriously, how are you meant to get everything done? Now, I've talked a lot about time in these short videos, but I've been thinking about this a lot recently as I've sort of looked at my last year and realised that something's got to give. So I currently have been writing under 3 different names: Joanna Penn, JF Penn, and Penny Appleton. I've also been doing screenwriting. I obviously have a podcast, a YouTube channel. I have been speaking. I just do a lot of stuff within my writing space, and yet I feel like I'm not moving forward with my own creative journey. And I know that might sound crazy, but the reality is splitting my focus as I do between so many things means that each one of those things is less effective. So what do we do about this? So then I remembered what Stephen Pressfield says in his book Turning Pro, which I reread quite often. I have an audiobook as well as a print book, and I look at that because it reminds me of what a professional writer does. And of course, a professional writer is in a sense an attitude as well as something you do with your life, I guess. But in Turning Pro, Stephen says, and I've got the quote here, "When we turn pro, everything becomes simple." And I picked up that quote and I was like, everything becomes simple. Well, why isn't this simple? And then I realised that because I do so many things, it's very hard for it to be simple. So then how do we cut things out? Because I'm an eclectic creative person. I think you are probably too. There are very successful people in the author space and in any creative space, and those people focus pretty hard on one thing or one genre and, make a big impact there. I don't think I'll ever be able to just do one thing because I like doing lots of different things, but something has to give. So my question for you is, if you're feeling the same, is to revisit that definition of success. What is your definition of success? What do you want to achieve in the next 5 years, 10 years? What do you want to be known as? How do you want to be seen? And when I thought about that, I then considered, okay, my number one thing is I want to be JF Penn. I want to write thrillers. I want to write dark fantasy, crime, horror, darker books. That's JF Penn is darker. And Joanna Penn helps other people. And I do like those two sides, but I have to give up some other stuff. So I am giving up writing as Penny Appleton, co-writing with my mum. We are finishing that pen name, and my mum will actually be coming on to do an interview, and that will go on the podcast and here on the YouTube channel. And so, yeah, that is done. We are finished. So that's one pen name out the way. Now, as much as I think pen names are great, I have a video on pseudonyms, and they're really good for also bots and that type of thing. But the minute you have multiple pen names, you have to keep producing books in those individual pen names so that you kind of satisfy readers within those niches, and I just can't do that. So Penny Appleton is gone. The other thing that is gone for me is the screenwriting. I've been fascinated with this, and I'm still fascinated, but screenwriting is a whole other career. The best screenwriters, that's what they do, and I am primarily an author of books. I like writing books, I read books, I read far more books than I watch movies or TV or anything, and yeah, I want to write books. Now, I hopefully at some point in my future will revisit screenwriting, but for now I will leave it to other people and aim to write such amazing books that I attract screenwriting professionals who want to work with my intellectual property. And I have an interview coming up on this very soon with Julie Huss and Jonathan McLean, who are going to talk about how that works in their relationship. That's coming soon. Also, I am going to kind of calm down my speaking aspect for Joanna Penn. So I'm going to serve the author community through my existing books, through the YouTube channel, my podcast, and more courses. So I'm going to continue serving the author community on the creativepenn.com, but not with speaking and any more sort of non-fiction books right now, because I've got 10 non-fiction books. I've pretty much covered everything you need to know. And everything I want to share right now. So I will be continuing to do videos, I'll do the podcast and the blog, but I won't be speaking for Joanna Penn. I will be moving that energy into JF Penn. So those are some of the things that I've decided that I'm going to do. Some of them are quite major and others are quite a minor shift of energy. But remember, there's only so much energy we have, and you have to decide where to give it, and where your energy goes, your focus goes, that's where you're going to become most successful. So let's stop right now, look at everything you've got going, write a big list of it all, and then start eliminating, because only by eliminating can you make space for the things that really matter. So how about you? How are you going to refocus your writing priorities to achieve what you really want to in the next few years? Let me know in the comments below. And also, if you have any other questions, I'd love to hear them. And remember to subscribe to the channel, because I will be doing more videos. Okay, happy writing week. I'll see you next time.